Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm on the floor again. This is honestly just where I get the best lighting. I've been trying to film this video for like weeks now, and I have been filming it for weeks now, but like now I finally have all the clips that I need, and I'm like putting everything together. I'm really excited. I apologize for any inconsistencies in the lighting. The sun is like slowly starting to set. But I make videos about deep intellectual talks, lifestyle content, vlogs, and now I kind of want to delve into fitness. So I've been working out the past, like, I want to say 6 to 7 years, like working out and being mindful about like my health and fitness. I currently work out 5 days a week, and I do eat pretty healthy, and I'm really passionate about fitness. Today, I want to share with you how I structure my workout routine and a few tips about getting over gym anxiety. I change my workout routine about 3 to 4 times a year, not a month. 3 to 4 times a year, meaning that I'm doing the exact same movements every single week for months on end, because I want to allow my body to properly learn how to perform a movement, and then once it learns how to perform it, to excel in that movement, meaning I'm either excelling by increasing my weight or increasing my rep range, just overall getting really comfortable with these movements and much better at them. I definitely used to overtrain. I was doing like 8 to 9 exercises per workout, and I would feel so exhausted. I felt like I could barely finish my workout. I was doing some reading lately, and I found that your body can actually grow muscle with super limited exercise. By the way, if I'm looking down, it's because I have some notes in front of me. All you really need to do is hit about 10 to 20 sets per muscle group per week to see growth. And preferably you would train each muscle twice a week. Now, when I look at any of the fitness stuff, or like when I try to like delve into the topics, I always go towards people who make videos or post things backed by scientific research. So one YouTuber I really love is Ethier. I think he's like a Vancouver-based YouTuber, and his channel is like all backed by scientific studies. My current routine focuses on the most effective exercises based on science, and I do large compound movements because they obviously work a lot of different muscles together. And I feel like most of my exercises are pretty boring, but like even if I want something unique or something different, I'm not gonna do an exercise that's like less effective than something else, even if that exercise is boring. So my goal right now is to gain as much muscle as possible. So my training approach is kind of like working through a variety of rep ranges, but usually sticking between 6 to 12. Now, when structuring my most recent workout routine, I was having the challenge of, figuring out how many sets it is that I want to do, and how many reps I should be sort of working in. And what I learned is that you can easily overtrain your muscle, and I guess that's what I was doing. And overtraining will absolutely do nothing for you. It kind of becomes like junk volume. So essentially it's useless. Like all that extra overtraining you're doing can instead lead to poor recovery or even injury, which we definitely don't want. Knowing that information, what I did was break down exactly what muscles I want to train, and then how many reps and sets I want to use to train them. So I train my entire body, and the main muscle groups that I focus on are quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes, calves, shoulders or delts, biceps, chest, triceps, lats, my smaller upper back muscles, and finally my abs. For me, I aim to hit about 15 to 20 sets per week per muscle. Okay, so now I'm on the screen. I'm gonna sort of walk you through what I'm doing on what day, and then how many sets I'm doing per muscle group. This is the template I use on Google Sheets to track all my workouts, every single weight, and I'm gonna link it below so you can personalize your own. For my first leg day, these are all the exercises I do, and these are the specific muscle groups they target. I try to do about half the sets on this day and then half the sets on my second leg day. Day 2, I have back and biceps. They should both actually be at 18 sets. I made a little mistake there. The chin-ups and pull-ups I do on a different day, and I do 3 sets of each of those. Day 3, I do mobility, where I target abs, calves, my back, and my chest and triceps, but those have already been included in the other ones. So here's just abs and calves. My second leg day is definitely more glute focused because I've hit the majority of my quads and hamstrings on day 1. If I were to add in a third leg day, I would be doing an insane amount of sets per week, and that would completely be overtraining. Day 5, I hit my triceps, chest, and shoulders, and I have the least amount of sets for triceps because I have an issue with my elbow basically, and I just can't train my triceps that much. It hurts a lot, so I don't do too much work there. So let's get into the actual workout. Day 1, I have legs. Here I am doing stationary lunges. I prefer doing them stationary. I feel like it helps with my balance. What I'm making sure is that my back leg goes down at a 90-degree angle. My knee is not going beyond my toe. And the hardest thing here is balance. You have to just stay very still. I go pretty heavy on these and I find that I really feel it in my quads. Next up, we have Romanian deadlifts, one of my favorite exercises. So what I'm doing is keeping the bar really close to me. I want it to be like almost grazing my shins, and I'm ensuring to not go past my range of motion. So I don't want to touch the floor. I'm only going to around my lower shin sock area because I want to feel the stretch in my glutes and not my lower back. When you go lower, you start to then activate your lower back muscles, and that's not my goal here. You have to keep a straight back. If you don't keep a straight back, you're literally going to wake up the next day and be in so much pain. You can get injured really badly with deadlifts, so just be careful. For leg extensions, I like to put the seat up, as far as I comfortably can, and I always adjust it to large because my legs are long as hell. So what I really do is take my time going up and feel the contraction. I sometimes even stop for like a second or two. Also, please ignore my bruises. I am just very clumsy and I happen to stumble everywhere. I love leg extensions, and sometimes what I'll do is a single leg extension to burn out in between my sets. I call these reverse frog pumps. So the goal here is to keep your hips at the edge of the bench and put the weight comfortably in between your feet without it falling out. I also use a band for extra tension, and I really feel these in my glutes. I love them. For my leg presses, I don't bring my legs in super close to my chest because I feel it more in my lower back than I do my hamstrings or glutes. So I just go until I feel a stretch in my hamstrings. Day 2, we get into pull, which is targeting my back and biceps, and I start off with bent over rows. The goal here is to make sure that your arm is extending all the way down, you're dropping your shoulder, and you're pulling that weight up tight into your abdomen area and squeezing at the top. I've lately been able to increase my strength very quickly on these bent over rows. I'm not exactly sure why, but this is just another angle showing you that my shoulder is completely dropping. Next, we have reverse grip lat pull down. So the reason I do reverse grip is because it targets your lower lats more than it does your upper lats, and my upper lats are already targeted through other things. So the goal here is to just bring the weight down and squeeze as you're, going down. I actually really don't like this exercise, but we still have to do it. And look at all that muscle definition in my upper back. It looks so good. And it looks even better here with my kneeling pull down. So my goal here is to imitate the exact same movement as doing a pull-up, which you can't really imitate when you're doing a seated lat pull down. So kneeling lat pull down better mimics that. I can go pretty heavy on these, and I'm just making sure to pull in towards me. Next, I do hammer curls. Usually I do both arms at the same time. Sometimes I do one. Just, curling the weight up, making sure that I'm not swinging. Here, I'm going to show you guys how it looks in some different angles, and also so that I can show off my muscles, of course. But yeah, I filmed these at home because I just couldn't record it at the gym. So I do have some weights at home, which I'm lucky for. I got to work out during COVID. But yeah, I just didn't want to film certain things at the gym. I felt a little bit awkward. Next, we get into close grip barbell curls, and I do the close grip because I just feel it more in my bicep. You can hold it even closer than this, and usually I do, but because I was using this bar at home, I just didn't really have any markings on it to know where to hold. So once again, curling this upwards, I try to make sure my arms are not fully glued to my side so that it also activates my lats and activates my traps a little bit as well. This is my day 3, which includes my mobility workout. And I start off with banded push-ups is because I honestly can't do regular push-ups, which is crazy. I have all this strength and I can't do push-ups. These are really, really hard. I put my band just above my elbow, and I try my best to keep my elbows tight. It does help a lot, but it's still really difficult. I literally can't do more than 6 in a row. And even then my face is red, which just sucks. Next, we have assisted chin-ups and pull-ups. I usually superset these back to back. And obviously on the machine, the lighter the weight, the harder it is. These are already hard in general. Now, unless you're doing a super lightweight on this, it's obviously not exactly mimicking the exercise without the support. But because I can't really do pull-ups or chin-ups, I feel this is just a good alternative. Now, I can usually do 2 pull-ups, but I tried it here and I couldn't. So here's me just embarrassing myself on camera for you guys. For these supported leg raises, I have a weight in between my leg and I'm ensuring that I'm fully curling my hips inward. If you don't do that, then you're gonna feel this in your hip flexors and not your abs. So yeah, we do this with the weight and then we drop the weight and just keep going until we burn out. Here I'm doing machine crunches. I actually love this machine. I don't go too heavy, but I like squeeze really hard to make sure that I actually feel it in my abs. And I usually superset this with in and outs, which I didn't record. One of my calf variations includes this seated calf raise. I really don't like this one because I always feel like my shoes are gonna slip off. I don't really tie them, but the goal is to go down as far as you can, and then when you're up, squeeze your calves. I always try to hold it for like a second or two, and I don't really go much heavier than this because I find that my feet like slip off way too much. Yeah, this is the seated one. This is the second variation, and you can do this on this type of leg press, which is the straight one, or the other traditional leg press, which is like the decline. I only recorded the straight one, but it's literally basically the exact same thing. So obviously you press the weight and you want to make sure your feet are just at the bottom. You are tilting, you are basically, what is that, dorsiflexion? And then you are flexing your feet. But you get the gist. You should go pretty heavy on this because it's straight, so it's even easier to like lift the weight. I wasn't able to get a video, but I do these kneeling crunches. I usually use like a rope, and I just kind of hold it over my head like in this video, and then I make sure when I'm going, I'm squeezing and contracting my abs. My second and final leg day of the week, I start off with Bulgarian lunges, and I found that I prefer stacking up plates rather than using the bench. I just feel it more. I'm able to lean forward, which is the goal here. And I'm going to show you a better angle where I'm leaning forward onto my front leg and I'm feeling a lot of my tension in my quad, in my front leg, and also in my glutes. Next, I do hip thrusts. I ensure that when I go to the top, my body's all in alignment. I put my feet a little bit forward because my legs are really long, and I squeeze at the top to get the best contraction in my glutes. Here I'm doing a medius kickback. So I have an attachment around my ankle and I'm kicking my leg back at roughly a 45-degree angle. And you really want to feel this right there, exactly where I'm holding. Keep the weight contracted and squeeze at the top. I hate squats, but I just have to do them. I think I could go a little bit lower in terms of my form. Realistically, you want to get to at least parallel, but below parallel is preferred. I make sure that I have a fairly wide stance. Like I like having my feet a little bit more than shoulder width apart. It just works better for me. Sometimes I even put 2 plates under my feet because my legs are just really long and I feel like it helps my form. And one thing that has helped me a lot is when I do squats, I need to like intently focus on something like my eyes or whatever. And somehow that just helps me push the weight. I struggle a lot with increasing my weight for squats. I don't know why. I think it's psychological. But yeah, it's a great compound exercise. I just really hate doing it. Next are leg extensions. And I actually had no idea that my hips kind of rise until I took a video. I feel like that shouldn't be happening. Essentially, I adjust it so that the machine is as close to me as possible. And I'm making sure to curl all the way up and keep it contracted on my way down and make sure I'm going slow. And my week off with my push day. Here I'm doing lateral raises, standing, but I usually do them seated. I feel like they're more challenging. I'm making sure that there's a slight bend at my elbows and that I'm not going too high. I don't really go past my shoulder, and I'm just squeezing when I get to the top. This exercise is so challenging. It's honestly harder, it's hard to do anything more than 12.5. Here I have bench press. I used to never bench, but then one day I'm like, okay, like, fuck it, let's just do it. I probably can improve my form, so if you have any tips, please let me know. For benching, I find that when I curve my back a bit, it does help me, and I just have to keep the weight really steady. That's kind of my hard part with like balance. I definitely can go lower, but I don't want to like fully hit my chest just because, well, it hurts my boobs. But yeah, I definitely can go a little bit lower and keep it more balanced. I'm not sure if my elbows are maybe out too much, so you guys can let me know. I don't put more than like a 10 on each side because benching is hard. Here I'm doing a kneeling landmine press. So I take the big like 45-pound bars and I add a little weight on it. I'm kneeling on a mat and I'm pushing this above. This works my upper chest and my shoulders. Now the challenge is when you want to increase the weight, it gets difficult to actually lift this off the floor without hurting your forearms. So if you have someone that you're working out with, you can just ask them to lift the weight for you up until like they get to your chest, and then you can press it up from there, because it can be difficult to like put it up and put it down. This is not the best demonstration, but here I'm doing incline bench press on my bench at home. The goal here is kind of similar to regular bench press. I do have my back just slightly curved and I'm pushing the weight up. I know I can go lower, and this was taken a couple weeks ago. Since then, my form has definitely improved and I feel it a lot in my chest. As you've seen my routine, we can talk about gym anxiety. And I honestly used to be so anxious when going to the gym back in like grade 12. It wasn't until like around first year that I got more comfortable going by myself. And even now, sometimes I get super overwhelmed, especially when the gym is like really packed, or when like sometimes I don't feel like I look good in my outfit. Basically, it just took me a while to realize that nobody cares. Like, nobody cares about you in the gym. Everyone's there working on themselves. Even if they look at you, they give a glance, whatever, nobody cares like what you're doing. As long as you're not like doing anything to harm them or to harm yourself, like nobody will focus on you. Most people, you know, just mind their own business, and there's really no point to make comparisons because you don't know. It could be someone's first day at the gym. It could be someone's 5,000th day at the gym, right? So you don't really know, and that's why it's not fair to make those comparisons between yourselves and others. Tip number 1, go to the gym with a friend, with a workout partner. So when I first started going in grade 12, I used to go often with my boyfriend at the time or some of my friends. My boyfriend at the time knew a lot more about fitness than me, and he would kind of show me what to do, and then I would do that. And when I was going with him, it was, you know, a little bit less scary because I had someone to socialize with. And I would also go with friends because we were all kind of like at the beginner fitness level. So we were learning things together and like trying new things, trying new machines and stuff. So it made the process a lot more bearable because I had someone that I could work out with, and it like gets rid of a lot of that awkward tension. Number 2 is, if you're a girl, go to a gym with a private women's section. So you may be in luck. There are some gyms that do have these sections. My gym does. It's, you know, it's not the best, but it definitely has a decent amount of stuff where you could feel comfortable. And as a beginner, you can definitely start off and make a lot of good progress. And what I used to do is I would stay in the women's section and slowly make my way down to like the general section. I force myself to do one exercise in the general section. So I do my whole workout in the women's section, go downstairs, do 1. Okay, next week force myself to do 2. Next week force myself to do 3. And then all of a sudden I just wouldn't go to the women's section anymore. The only time I go right now is like when I'm stretching or if a machine in the general section is taken. Tip number 3 is wear something you feel good in. So I used to dress really weird for the gym, and honestly sometimes I still kind of do. I would wear like really like, you know, loose clothing or like random sweatpants, and never really like gym clothing. I didn't really like invest into that, and I would get to the gym and then I would hate the way that I was looked. I hated my outfit, and then I would feel like self-conscious and I would have a shit workout. I used to also like feel really self-conscious in like leggings or like really tight pants, like shorts, whatever it was. Mainly because like I used to think that, you know, my ass was like too small and those things looked unflattering. Sometimes I still think that. It's like one of those things that you just like don't let go of. But I've definitely come a long way, and I dress a lot better for the gym now, in my own opinion. Like when I look in the mirror, like I like what I'm wearing. And I feel like when you have like a cute workout set or like cute whatever it is that you're wearing, when you feel good in it, like you're that much more motivated to work hard, and you're not like focusing on your appearance in that moment. You're just focused on the exercise and whatever you have to do in front of you. So I really highly recommend, get some cute gym clothes, get some good shoes, just do whatever you need to, you know, like if you need to put a little bit of makeup, whatever it is, just make yourself the most comfortable for the gym because you're gonna have a way better experience. Tip number 4 is to go in with a plan. So I would often just go to the gym and be like, okay, well, I want to do legs, but I have no idea what exercises I'm going to be doing. And then I kind of just like get a little bit frazzled because there's so many things to choose from and I don't exactly know where I want to start. And then like sometimes you know what you want to do, but then that machine's taken, so you don't really have like any alternatives. So what I'd say is create a workout, like create a routine for yourself, or follow someone else's routine that you want to try out, and know what you're going to be doing before you get in the gym. So then when you're there, you already, like, you're on a mission, like, you know, you have to do this, that. Also, like, will make you feel more confident because you know what it is that you have to do. You know which machines you have to use, you know which weights you're going to be using. So like a lot of times I feel like, you know, people get in the gym and they're anxious because they don't know what to do. That's why you have to come prepared so that you do have a plan. My fifth and final tip is to just learn as much as you can. You know, whether that's like going to the gym and like trying, you know, new exercises, new machines, just to get comfortable the first couple weeks, first couple months that you're going, or, you know, spending your time watching different YouTube videos on like routines, on exercises, or trying out certain things at home and then feeling more confident to do them in the gym. It's a constant learning process. Like, everyone is in a similar journey to you, and the gym is just somewhere where we're all going to like collectively work on this one journey, and no one is really paying attention to you the way that you think they are. And if you do think they're paying attention to you, well, then the best tip I have is just stare at them. Literally just stare at them until they look away. And if they don't look away, then they're just weird. But like when someone at the gym is like making me like, you know, maybe look at me, or like I feel kind of uncomfortable, I will literally just stare like what are you looking at? And if they come to talk to you, good luck, Charlie. That's another thing. Please, if you're a man and you're watching this, don't go up to a girl which is wearing your headphones on and try to strike up conversation at the gym. What do you mean? There's like sweat dripping down my face. Why do you even want to talk to me? So that concludes this video. I really hope that you guys, you know, took something away from this, learned something. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, comment. I really do want to make more like fitness and like health inspired videos. I feel like this one was really fun for me to do and fun for me to film, and it actually got me out of my comfort zone because I was so nervous to film some stuff in the gym. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you soon. Bye.